The Lisbon Treaty establishes a new legal country to which EU member states are subservient. It makes future constitutional change possible even without consulting them. It removes the EU's founding principle of free and undistorted trade. It both bans and then reintroduces the death penalty for riots and upheavals, permits the restrictions of rights and freedoms to serve the interests of the European Union, and allows EU armed forces to enter any country. The Irish, destroyed by the euro and under intolerable pressure, voted yes to all that. The European Union now knows that all they have to do to finish off the constitutions of EU member states is to finish off their economies first. The frightened voters will then kowtow. The European Union is based on the Nazi plans of 1941, published as they were in Berlin in 1942. The EU was founded by, among others, leading Nazis and fascists, as was the Charlemagne Prize awarded to Tony Blair, Edward Heath, Roy Jenkins, and others for their role in removing democratic sovereignty from the nation-states of Europe. As in the 1940s, we witness today the breakup of Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia and the recreation of the petty states of Slovakia, Croatia, Bosnia, and Albania and Kosovo. These states were all Nazi allies during the 1940s, and each provided Germany with a full Waffen-SS division. The Federal Union of European Ethnic Groups. The FUEV is an anti-Semitic, Nazi-supported, German-dominated promoter of ethnic regional politics, and that very regional principle now being embraced in Britain by the Labour government. Both the Welsh nationalists and the Cornish separatists are associated with the FUEV. One ethnic group is excluded. As an early statement of the FUEV's principles established, Jews are excluded from ethnic rights enjoyed by other nations. Today that organization is active throughout Europe and in particular among German minorities in Germany's neighboring countries, the Czech Republic, Belgium, Denmark, Poland, etc. The FUEV pursues the goal of a federal Europe of the regions, which means in their own words the end of the unitary and centralized nation-states, but not, of course, the end of the centralized European superstate. Since the 1950s, when Hans-Josef Graf Matuschka of the European Union of Germany, as it then was, succeeded in linking the FUEV to the German Foreign Office, the organization has had the financial support of the German government. It is involved in the European Union's Committee of the Regions and the European Council's Congress of Communities and Regions, and since 1995, it is represented in the UN itself. It is no mitigation of the above to say that most of those individuals are long gone, for the institutions they helped to found are not only active today, but the constitutional structures they created now govern most of Europe. They do so indeed by virtue of European treaties which refer consistently in truly fascist style to their irrevocable and irreversible provisions. The Charlemagne Prize. The prize was originally founded by the Nazis, but was then refounded in 1949 by the efforts of the Aachen textile merchant Kurt Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer, who had previously been a member of the Nazi Party and of 5 other Nazi organizations, maintained that he had always tended to be a fundamental believer in Europe, and the Charlemagne Prize Society was to be associated with the imperial idea, Reichsidee, of the Emperor Charlemagne. The post-war image of Charlemagne as unifier of the Christian West was preceded by his Nazi portrayal as unifier of the German tribes. Charlemagne had been compared with Hitler, his Reich, and Greater Germany. This is clearly exemplified by the career of the Aachen professor of philosophy Peter Menneken, who took over the professorship previously occupied by an expelled Jew, and who after the war had authorized, influenced, over the symbolism of the Charlemagne Prize and the liturgy of its award ceremonies.